everyone, this is Captain Rezai, your CFI at aviators.info. Today is our very first lesson about principles of flight, and we are going to identify the main parts of an aircraft. Although they look different, we have different types of aircrafts, but they pretty share the same items. We have 5 main parts in an aircraft. The very first one is called fuselage, or the main body. It actually is used to carry passengers, loads, cargo, and other stuff. And other main parts are attached to this part. The next part is called wing, or the main plane of an aircraft. It actually generates an upward force called lift, which compensates the weight of an aircraft and helps that to maintain its level and not to fall down when in the air. And we will talk about lift and aerodynamic forces in the later chapters. So be patient, do not worry about it. We will talk about it in details in the later chapters. The third part is called power plant, or the engine, which is the heart of an aircraft and produces a forward force called thrust. The bigger the engine, the more thrust, the more speeds we can go, or the higher altitudes we can reach. The fourth part is called empennage, which comes from a word French and means the tail of an arrow, which they pretty look like the same. In an arrow, the tail or the empennage is used to stabilize the arrow flight path, and also in the aircrafts, the tail sections do the same, and also are used to maneuver the aircraft in desired paths that the pilot wants. And the final part is called landing gear, or undercarriage, simply because we carry it under the aircraft. Its main purpose is to carry out the weight of an aircraft when on the ground or absorb landing forces. But when we leave the ground, it actually has no more benefits. So we prefer to retract them. And in most modern aircrafts, they are retractable, but in simple and training aircrafts, they are mostly fixed because they do not fly at really high speeds, and we want to keep their maintenance prices and costs as low as possible. Also, we can identify all these main parts in other crafts. For example, here we have an HR 72-600. This is the fuselage. We have 2 turboprop engines. We'll talk about the engines and different types in the power plant section. We have the wings, landing gear, and the tail section. The next one is a Boeing 737. This is the fuselage. We have 2 big engines here, landing gear, the wings, and the tail section. And here is an F-16. We also have fuselage, a really long engine, which here is the air intake. We have landing gears, tail section, and the wing of this aircraft. This is pretty small because they fly at high speeds, and we will discuss this in details in later chapters, that why the plant form is like this, or why they are so small rather than commercial aircrafts. And for the final slide, we have a quick review of what we just have learned. And we had 5 main parts in every aircraft. The very first one, the fuselage, the wings or the main planes, the engine or the power plant, the landing gear, and finally the empennage or the tail section of an aircraft. I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson, and try to have fun and go and search for images, more images, try to identify these main parts on them, and that's it. Good luck.